Hello students, Dr. Sharma here. In this lecture, I am going to discuss about circular motion. Okay, so let's begin with another problem. Okay, so suppose, imagine you are sitting on your car and it's speeding up. Okay, you are sitting on your car and it is speeding up on a curve. The surface, the curve road is the curved road. You are speeding up in your car, you are sitting inside, and suddenly you feel like you are being thrown outward. But you have a seat belt and your seat belt holds you in place. Why does that happen? Let's start with that question today. Okay, that is the objective of this class. You answer this question. What do you think causes that sensation? Is it a force pushing you out or something else? The truth is, there is no force pushing you outward, Instead, what is happening is that your body wants to move in a straight line, but the car is turning. So because of your inertia, you wanted to remain in the straight line, but the car already in the curved path. This is where circular motion begins. Okay, so let's begin with the definition of the circular motion. Okay, let's begin the definition. So, definition of the circular motion. So, circular motion occurs when an object moves along a circular path. The speed can be constant. Okay, suppose, let's say this circular path, moving, okay, the speed can be constant. Suppose you can go around this circular path with 20 km per hour. It seems like velocity, the speed is not changing, but continuously velocity is changing because of the direction. Because you see here you have a direction here you have a direction here you have a direction here. Continuously you are changing the direction. Changing the direction also causes the change in velocity. That means accelerating, you are accelerating. Even though you are going in the constant speed, you are accelerating. So the object is always accelerating, even if the speed stays the same. This type of acceleration is called the centripetal acceleration. So we know the acceleration. Okay, so the centripetal acceleration, if that is going with the constant velocity v with in the circular path with radius r, then that centripetal acceleration is always equal to the velocity square, speed square, you can say that, divided by radius of that circular path. And from Newton's second law of motion, you know that the net force is equal to mass times acceleration. So this net force is equal to the mass times velocity square over r. And this net force, the net force when the object is going around the circular path, that net force is the centripetal force. Okay, this net force is centripetal force. So let me ask you a question. Now, when I say that the centripetal force, actually this is the net force which is the responsible to keep the object in the circular path. So now you know the new force called the centripetal force. My question is this a new force? We discuss about different force. We discuss about normal force, we discuss about friction force, we discuss about tension force, we discuss about the gravitational force and many forces. Now I'm talking about centripetal force. Do you think this force is the new type of force? The answer is no. This is not a new type of force. This is the net force which causes the object going in the circular path, which creates the centripetal acceleration. That is the centripetal force. Okay, so centripetal force, let's say the Fc is equal to mv square over r. Always anything going around the circular path will experience this force, where m is the mass and r is the radius of the circle and v is the velocity, tangential velocity. You see here, tangential velocity. So can you give me some real life example about circular motion? I just gave you car turning on a curve. What else? So have you been in the amusement park, right? So like a spinning swing or a roller coaster loop, that is also another example for the circular motion. So Earth orbiting around the sun, this is the another example for the circular motion. So washing machine spin cycle, you can see that. That is also the centripetal forces pushes close toward the drum center, right? That is also circular motion. Then we will toss, the artificial gravity in space station. In space there is no gravity, but future space technology may rotate to simulate the gravity. That is very usable. So that is another example for the utilization of the circular motion. Okay. So now let me ask you another question. Have you ever experienced any of this example recently? What kept the object moving in a circular path in that case? Can you think about that? What forces? Is it tension forces, gravity forces, or friction forces? What else? So it may be anything. Okay, let me begin with the another situation here. Okay, you are driving your car in a bank road or unbanked road. So let me discuss a little bit about the bank versus unbanked curve. Okay, so unbanked curve means the flat road. You are driving your car on the flat road. Okay, so you are driving the car in the tilted road, that is the curve. Okay, so on a unbanked curve road, friction between the tire, friction between the tire and the road provide the centripetal force. That's very important thing. So if the speed is too high, what happens? The friction which provide the centripetal force that keeps on the curve, that car on a curve, may not be enough. So in this situation, car skids outward. That's the reason. That's why you have a speed limit here. But if you have a bank curve, what happens? Highways and the racetrack basically often tilt inward. Why? Because in this situation, the normal force from the tilted surface provide the sum or all of the centripetal force there. It does not depend on the friction here. That means it is less reliant on the friction, then it is very safe for the higher speed. Okay, let's think together. So why do racers take off on bank track instead of flat one? Can you think about that? So you can think about that. When you come in next class, you come with some answer about that. So generally engineers design the bank curve using certain equation. Physics is here. When they design the road, bank road, so they will use the formula called the tangent of theta is equal to the velocity square over r times g. R is the radius of the circular path, and the g is the acceleration due to gravity. Theta is the banking angle. Engineer, depending on the speed limit, they will tilted the road accordingly. Now you have a position to conclude this lecture. Okay, so let me wrap up with some third questions. So let me first ask, what provides the centripetal force? So any force can provide the centripetal force. For example, for a satellite going around the planet, so gravity provides the centripetal force. A car on a flat curve, what provides? The friction. A ball on a string, what provides the centripetal force? The tension force. Okay, so the final question is, what happens if the centripetal force disappear? What happens? Anything going in the circular path, now centripetal force vanish. The object is going in the circular path, the centripetal force vanish, then the object will start to move in a straight line. Okay, so tangent to the circle, not outward. So circular motion is everywhere. You see, you feel, from playground to planet. Okay, and understanding how forces act in circles help us design better cars, safer road and smarter satellites. Okay, let's continue spinning through the wall of physics. So I think you would be interested to discuss about centrifugal force also. Okay, that is the kind of fictitious force or the fake force, and rotational motion, how rotational motion works. So that will be the part of the other lectures. Okay, that's all for this lecture.